Typhoon Chaba moves off to northeast, racing at 20 knots right now, with still current sustained winds at typhoon strength here as it nears the Kanto Plain in the Tokyo metropolitan area. Good day, everybody. Rob here, WesternPacificWeather.com. It is currently the 30th of October, 2010, and looks like today Japan is going to be dodging yet another typhoon this season as the system moves off to the northeast, starting to make its extratropical transition, but is really, really close to Honshu here, starting to just miss the island by only less than 100 nautical miles, just off to the southeast here as it starts to get wrapped up in the westerlies here, and really starting to make this extratropical transition, as you show on this visible satellite imagery here. You can see these fronts actually starting to form out of the system, and that's what we really mean by the extratropical transition. It's going from a warm core low to a cold core low here, and you still have the center of circulation right in this region, but if you look down to the south here, you can start to see a cold front developing out of this system, and even a warm front extending all the way out here through the Kanto Plain and farther off to the northeast, and actually just a basically steady warm frontal type rain out here in the Kanto Plain currently, but there is still that typhoon strength winds confined to the center of the circulation right in here, and also mainly the right front quadrants where a lot of these winds are. As I noted earlier, the 20 knots of forward motion, that actually adds 20 knots on top of the overall wind speed out of this system. So if you've got 20 knots of forward motion on this side, it's actually going to be 20 knots less on the left side. So really kind of sparing the Kanto Plain and the Tokyo area here as the system moves just to the right of it and off to the northeast here. But on that note, the system is still relatively strong, and on the left side here, you're still going to see wind gusts definitely in the tropical storm force range, and even above 50 knots, and possibly up to 64 knots as the system moves past. I wouldn't expect to see any sustained typhoon strength winds on station down in here, but those gusts are definitely possible, especially in areas of funneling. As this system passed, you still got funneling coming in from the northwest here, especially through Tokyo Bay and several of the mountains out in this region right in here. So you could still see some funneling definitely up in Yokohama and farther down towards Yokosuka and many of these other outlying towns right in this region. Looks like Tokyo should be fare rather decently here as it's farther inland, but still could see those tropical storm force winds up in that region. But very widespread rainfall, and it actually looks like the system is moving rapidly fast, and that's actually one good thing with this extratropical transition as well. You can see a very sharp cutoff line of the precipitation farther down to the southwest here, and this is really good news as far as these precipitation, because this system should pass by this afternoon in the evening, and hopefully by actually this evening, probably about 2100 to 2300 this evening, the rain should just cut off rapidly with some very fair weather moving in behind it, as we can see on the IR shot here. The system moving very rapidly and sucking up most of the moisture as it moves along, so behind this actually cooler air temperatures and much clearer skies are moving in over Japan. So actually look at this Sunday for tomorrow, all of Japan seeing very fair weather tomorrow up in this region. Here's the track from JTWC, not going out too far as it's making the extratropical transition. Once it gets up in this region, it's not going to just fizzle away though. It's actually going to start to get wrapped up in that upper level trough and start to actually blow up possibly again here as it moves farther off to the northeast. But no concern for any major land masses, so good news there as far as this system goes. But this is what we talk about when we say it gets wrapped up in the upper level trough. Here you have a subtropical storm, now Chaba. This is what KMA is actually calling it now. And you have an upper level trough here at 500 millibars. That's right around 20,000 feet. As the system moves off to the northeast, it actually starts to get some support from this, more of a big bear clinic support. And tropicals like ridges instead of troughs. Once you start get this troughing in here and a lot of wind shear, it really starts to knock over the cloud tops and such. So really starts to make this system more not vertical, actually a little bit of a diagonal in the upper levels. So as that starts to get wrapped up in that, it's actually going to start to get some fronts and some cold air and warm air advection and start to move off to the northeast here. So just a little reasoning behind what I'm talking about here. But that is all for right now, everybody. I hope everybody stays safe out there. Hopefully I will have some videos from this system, try to put it in the update later this evening or by tomorrow morning. But elsewhere in the Western Pacific, though, high pressure is basically dominating as Chaba moved off to the northeast here. Still have a monsoonal trough extending all the way from the Philippines out to the east here, but no real activity developing out of that right now. It looks like the tropics are quieter for the time being. You do have a little spin right here, but this is mainly upper level low right in this region, so no possible development out of that. So really good news there. So if you have any questions, please field them to me at westernpacificweather.com. You can also find me at storm2k.org as usual. And if you also want to follow westernpacificweather.com at Facebook, please just look up our fan page there, and you can follow for any updates there as well. So have a great day, everybody. Stay safe out there, and I will see you later. Bye.